Hey guys, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Do you ever get one of those knives or see a knife that you just think is whimsical, but you're not gonna like it? That it's just gonna kind of be gimmicky and, just kind of different, like the Nanner here. Stick around. This knife has opened my eyes in a lot of different ways. This is a knife by CJRB called the Nanner. It was sent to me to check out and review and share with you guys. It was designed by a guy named, wait for it, Dusty Rhodes. And his goal was to create an upswept blade that would still have a usable tip for utilitarian tasks, which this has a very pointy, pokey, stabby tip. And then he wanted to design a blade that actually came down from the handle and then leveled out for cutting tasks. So I thought all that sounded good when I was reading through it. I did an unboxing on this knife. Thought it was pretty cool, even though bar locks, as you guys know, aren't my thing. This is a front flipper with thumb studs called the Nanner. Looks like a Nanner. They make it in other colors if you don't want a Nanner colored ones. Its blade steel is what CJRB and Artisan Cutlery use so often. It's that AARPM9, I believe it is. Heat treated around 60, 62, something like that. Persian blade. You've got this flat ground polished blade that looks very, very nice. You've got these G10 handles that in this case are yellow with Cerakoted green hardware, green back spacer, and green thumb studs. I'll leave a link to this on Amazon, and you'll see that they also offer it in more neutral colors, more normal colors, muted, I guess you'd say. But guys, where this knife really jumped out at me was when I started carrying it, and I started cutting with it, and I started realizing that it may be me and my 3.5-inch hand that spans 3.5 inches, but this thing fits my hand with this little hump in the back and the jimping on the spine just like a dream. I mean, I can get so much momentum behind this knife, and the only thing I feel is I feel the slightest bit of choil right there. I can feel it with my hand when I really death grip it, the G10, but it's nothing that I would even chalk up as a negative. I mean, it's just there. But the ergonomics of this knife may be the best ergonomics of any value price knife that I've reviewed. Now, does that mean it's the best knife? I'm not going there yet. I'm just talking about it is absolutely ergonomical. The blade is set up to cut. It's all belly, right? So it's going to roll through materials. And it's also extremely pokey. This knife also feels very comfortable in a reverse grip. In a reverse grip, you've got this tail or the butt of the knife. Your thumb rests perfectly on it. Your pinky's in the choil, i.e. blade guard. And then you've got a talon's claw, for the lack of a better term. It's a bar lock. I don't do lock fail tests. I think it's kind of a stupid test, but I'll leave that up to others. This one's great. Bar lock's probably one of the strongest locks in the game, even though for me personally, because I like a manual detent feel, CJRB knocks it out of the park with the detent feel. I mean, it's just a perfect balance to have it, I guess, optimized for this front flipper, because the front flipper flick is money. The thumb flick, which I don't do, is money, and the reverse flick is money. But I think it shines in its grip and its ability to cut through material. If we had some cardboard here, I got a little piece. The thicker the material, the better it just takes care of it. Like nobody's business. I've cut, not a ton. I haven't cut hundreds of feet by any means. I've probably cut 2 regular size Amazon boxes down, and I don't cut them down like this. I cut them into the strips that are behind me, and the blade still cuts paper as I snag up on something there. That's me and the cardboard and the glue that it's hitting. Let's see how it does with the paper. AARP9, to my understanding, was when it was first brought out, they thought it was a metallurgy steel, a powder metallurgy steel, but they came to find out, and it was not CJRB or Artisan's fault. It was just the way that the translation was explaining the process. It starts, with my limited understanding, as an ingot that is then has powder metallurgy or powdered metal spread or sprayed around that ingot. So it's kind of a combination of the two. Keeps the cost down and allegedly gives you the same type of properties as some of those, you know, nicer steels. I don't have a ton of experience with it, and you guys know me. I'm an urban EDC guy. I do use my stuff, but usually to open package, open cat food, do crazy shit like that. I'm not going out with this knife, putting it to the test, but I can tell you, for an EDC knife, for a self-defense knife, i.e. Slurpee Saver, this is a very impressive knife. I don't typically like a trailing point or a Persian size blade, but because you've got this extreme low angle that this blade comes out of the handle, the tip is going to be just about equal to the top of that. See how the tip and the top of that handle are at the same height? That's what makes it such an excellent, I would think, detail cutter, chopper if you're chopping parsley or you're chopping vegetables or you're having to prep some fire sticks before you start a fire. When I say fire sticks, little fire starters, if you're cutting down stuff like that, that you're having to use a push grip down into the material. I just think this knife will be a natural roller. Very cool design by our buddy Dusty Rhodes, not to be confused with the Dusty Rhodes that I grew up knowing. This is Dusty Rhodes, the knife designer. But let's get a couple of quick size comparisons, weigh this guy, get you some dimensions, and get out of here. Benchmade Bugout, which this is going to come in to be pretty close to the same size as our Bugout. So I'll show you the pair too, but there's no need to even lay it down. It's going to be much bigger. However, if we get our tape measure out and we look at the overall length of this guy, about 7.25, maybe 7.23, something like that. I don't know. Let's call it 7.25. The blade's going to be right under 3.25. The handle is going to come in at about 4 1/8. That very generous handle area is right under 4 inches. I mean, it is 3 3/4. You've got a lot of extra room. 4 inches is just a little bit long. I'm going to call it right about 4 inches. So that's 4 inches from right here to right here. You do have a lanyard hole if you want to extend that a little bit. And this guy has very thin blade stock. It's flat ground, so it's very slicey, but it starts out thin. 0.097 comes down to 0.0180, probably different than that since I can't ever get that dimension right. And you've got a nice thin handle, 0.4325. This guy comes in right around 45 bones, so it's very affordable in my opinion for a value knife. It's unique. The pros, it's unique. The action for the bar lock is very good. The ergonomics are excellent. I like the fact that it's called the Nanner and looks like a Nanner. The other colors are cool too. I like the design very well. My only con, per se, would be that it's a bar lock. And that's me. That's a personally subjective thing that takes nothing away from the knife. I'm just more of a manual detent kind of guy. I'm just different that way. I've got tons of bar locks and loved them for years. Very tight clip, which is good. Deep carry, just the corner of your Nanner pokes out there like a little turtle head. Short clip, stainless clip matches the bar and the satin blade. I just think it's a winner, guys. I think if you're looking for something different, if you like a Persian blade, and again, this is not going to cut like a Persian blade because again, the tip of your blade is going to come up right here. So literally it's more like a drop point when you're cutting. It just sucks up into your hand, if that makes sense. I forgot to weigh it because I know it's going to be light because you've got skeletonized liners. But this little guy is going to come in at 2.4 ounces. 2.4 ounces for a 3.25 or 3.23, whatever it was, blade length goes well below our inch per ounce little ratio that I don't pay any attention to. I'm not going to make any exceptions here. I still don't think it matters, but this is a very light knife. Very stable knife with a good lock. If you don't like thumb studs and you're a new knife user, you don't like front flipping, you can simply just pull back on the bar lock, open and close it. It's one of the things that I think it's very good for beginners, and it's also very good for strength and stability. It's not going to close up on you. That bar lock is a very sound system, and I just think the Nanner's a cool knife, guys. I think it's whimsical but functional. Thank you so much for watching. I do want to say to my channel members, thank you, thank you, thank you. For anyone who comes in to watch my knife and EDC content, thank you. If you're so inclined and you hadn't had a chance yet, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that bell notification icon. Give me a like, comment, tell me what you think about the knife. But most importantly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.